should be, yeah, yeah. Should. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand for the national anthem of Barbados. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Honorable Charles Griffith, Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Mrs. Joy Adamson, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Mr. Neil Murrow, Director of Sports, National Sports Council, Mr. Cleverson Hunt, Director of Youth Affairs, Frederick Blunt, President of the Barbados Road Tennis Association. I want to acknowledge this morning the presence as well of the BRTO committee, chaired by Mr. Sean Burke, also his colleagues Peter Thorne, Ralph Watson, Kim Linton, Adrian Donovan, Tracy Leacock, and Jamal Smith. Ms. Paulette Jones from Nation News, Mr. Neil and Claudia Corbin, Impure Water Filtration, Inc., Mr. Mark Griffith, 2023 Male Barbados Road Tennis Open Champion, Ms. Sheldon Warren, 2023 Female Barbados Road Tennis Open Champion, or other road tennis players here this morning, staff of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, and our members of the media, Cameron Bino from the Nation News, Curtis Hines of VOB, Anmar Goodrich Boyce of the CBC, Harold Greenwich of Barbados Today, and Fabian Belgrave from GIS. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Kurt Brown. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome you this morning as one of your masters of ceremony this morning, as well with young Michael Elliott, one of our youth MC team members right here this morning for the Barbados Road Tennis Open 2024. Now, road tennis is more than just a game in Barbados. It is a part of the nation's identity, a symbol of its culture, and a testament to its spirit of inclusivity and community. It is a sport that truly embodies the essence of Barbados, and the BRTO was conceptualized to bring awareness and a sense of importance to our indigenous sport. Since its inception, the tournament has attracted over 100 players each year. Now, the first edition was held, to give you some context, in 2022, followed by the second in 2023, with Barbadians coming out in large numbers to view the matches in the communities, the semifinals and finals at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. Fans can also view games online through the Everything Road Tennis channel, which currently has over 76,000 views. Additionally, there's a dedicated website for the Barbados Road Tennis Open at www.roadtennisopen.com. You may follow on YouTube of Everything Road Tennis, Instagram at BRTO Open, and the Facebook page Barbados Road Tennis Open. Now it is my honor to introduce our first speaker, whose vision and dedication have been instrumental in the development of sports in Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Charles Griffith, Minister of Youth, Sports, and Community Empowerment, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Kurt. Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Adamson, Director of Youth Affairs, Director of the National Sports Council, our sponsors, the media, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this launch of the 2024 Barbados Road Tennis Open. If someone had told me 100 years later that I would be doing this in terms of road tennis, I would say to them it is not possible. Because 100 years ago, I was playing road tennis in my village using a piece of board. And yes, I took care of myself, so that is why 100 years later, I still look like this. The truth is that we are trying to grow road tennis as a government, and we have done, I think, a lot in recent times to ensure that our indigenous sport reach the level that we want it to reach. And I'll share with you some information in relation to what I'm speaking about in terms of growing the sports. We have, in the last year or so, installed over 300 road tennis courts across the island, either by request or a need as we saw it from the National Sports Council. We have gone far and wide. Schools have asked for road tennis courts to be installed, and we have placed, like I said, in excess of 300 courts on the island. But let me start with some gratitude, because I want to first thank our sponsors for being involved in the process. From the time I became Minister of Sports, I've been asking that private sector come on board to help us in terms of how we can lift sports and how we can lift our young people. And I want to say thank you to the nation and Pure Water for coming on board this year to do this. We are in the process, we are a couple of steps away of sending a document to an agency who will act on our part in terms of sending the constitution of the International Road Tennis Association to IOC, because our end game is to try to see if we can have road tennis at the Olympics at some point in time. And it is at an advanced stage. We have identified 3 directors to be involved in the process as it relates to that International Road Tennis Federation. Only last week, I had discussions with someone in Zimbabwe who is interested in having us send a team to Zimbabwe to showcase road tennis. They were supposed to be traveling this week, but it was stalled because the Minister of Sports in Zimbabwe indicated he wanted this thing to be a bilateral arrangement and not an ad hoc situation where a private entity in Zimbabwe is inviting our partners here to be involved in showcasing road tennis in Zimbabwe. So I suspect that in a month's time, we should have a team of 8 or so persons going to Zimbabwe to look to see how best that we can trigger road tennis in that country. We have road tennis in 300 schools in York, in Canada, and we're expecting to expand that again across Canada. So we are doing what is necessary as a government to ensure that we grow the sports, to make sure that road tennis, that is our indigenous sport, is alive and well, and that we could have a similar situation to what happened on Wednesday when the Prime Minister launched the semi-professional Prime Minister's Cup. And we're hoping that this is something that I will sit down with my team to see how best we can look to have a tournament that also would provide a stipend for players as they move through the process. I also want to thank Mr. Blunt for his partnership with the ministry, the Barbados Road Tennis Association. We have been working with them to ensure that tournaments across the island are done at a professional level and that we have best results. But I mentioned that we're doing, again, what is necessary. At the old Sports Council complex, we have a road tennis academy with 26 young persons who train at that location every Saturday in preparation for when Venom step away, that we have some youngsters who can fill his shoes, so to speak, in terms of having road tennis grow. But I want to share some information with you in terms of this year's road tennis competition, and I'm really, really excited about the things that are happening. The tournament dates, it will start on July 28th and run until September 27th, where we will have the finals. And based on what happened last weekend, the dates that I would give you are dates that are proposed, because all of us know that Mother Nature can have an impact in relation to that. The tournament will be played at 4 locations during the first 2 weeks: Belfield, Bush Hall, a place called Gore Hill in St. John, and Diamond Corner in St. Peter. So in addition to those 4 locations, as we progress, we're taking road tennis island-wide, because if we're going to expand road tennis and if we're going to grow the sports, then we need to have it impacting at grassroots level. And the only way you can do that is to have persons in communities across the island see the sport and engage in road tennis. I mentioned the sponsors before who are on board, and not to take away anything from our 2 sponsors, but I'm calling to all of corporate Barbados to follow the lead of these 2 sponsors, Bajan Pure and the Nation, and get involved in the development of sports on the island. If we are to move to the international stage, then we need to have our youngsters who are involved in sports supported. And the only way that we can do that is to have corporate Barbados come on board, because it is impossible for us to do everything on our own. And I believe that if you can help young people to grow and to move to another level, then it is important. For the first time, we have introduced a website, www.roadtennisopen.com, where persons who are interested in being involved in this year's competition can actually go online and register to participate in the competition. We're slightly down on numbers this year as it relates to persons who are participating. Never mind the 100 years ago. Since coming to the ministry, I have mentioned on Wednesday, so often I have been able to walk on history's page in this ministry. And 3 years ago, road tennis walked on history's page by introducing for the first time in this country line technology. No other sports on island would have done that in terms of having line technology as part of the process. This is the 3rd year, and fully expecting that the quality of the line technology would be improved this year as well. Again, another first. Soon you will see Courtside, so a software called Courtside, developed right here in Barbados for road tennis. I'm not a techie person, so I'm not even going to venture to explain. You will see a demonstration in terms of how that will roll out for road tennis. And I'm hoping that other sports on the island will be able to mimic what is happening with the software that was created for road tennis. And the fact that we are now in the 21st century, I've always been preaching that technology should be embedded in our sports in terms of, if not video analysis, using technology to better the game and to have our athletes rise to a different level. So you will see a demonstration, hopefully, of Courtside. That was developed here in Barbados specifically for road tennis. Now, I want to invite all of you to be at our venues when we're playing, because the only way that you're gonna help encourage those players would be your presence at the locations. We have asked police to be present, so there should be a level of security at the locations. And the fact that we can do this, last year I'm told that our finals were broadcast to 23 countries. I dare say again, we're walking on history's page, because I cannot remember at any point in time in the history of sports on this island that finals was carried to countries outside of Barbados. I want to say thank you to CBC as well for participating with us, partnering with us in terms of, I mean, even today I'm told that this is going live, but broadcasting our finals at the gymnasium live. I don't believe in these things that it can't happen. 3 years ago when I asked that we do this in the gymnasium, I heard that it was not possible. At the point in time, Adrian Donovan, who's no longer at the Sports Council, said to me, yes, Minister, it can be done. Now, even if he wasn't sure, he told me it would have been done. And we had road tennis being played indoors for the first time in the Wilder Gymnasium. Ken Moore is saying no, and I suppose at some point in time there will be a blog saying the minister was wrong. So I stand corrected, sir. But the fact that we were able to play the finals indoors, it meant that we created an environment where families now felt safe coming to a location with children to be able to see a finals in road tennis for the first time on this island. This year, we expect that we will go bigger, and we will continue to promote and to ensure that at some point in time, road tennis really reach the end line, the finish line that we're looking for at the Olympics. Venom, I'm not sure 100 years from now as well that you'll be representing us at the Olympics, but I'm sure that the crop of youngsters that we have coming through the ranks will be able to present and represent themselves at the Olympics. Finally, I mentioned the International Road Tennis Association. One of the things that we're looking to do is to have countries outside of Barbados register in that, under that particular body. It will be our international federation. We have the first directors, like I said, but it is expected at some point in time it may move away from us. But the truth is that it would be a homegrown international federation as a result of indigenous sports in Barbados. I want you at some point in time, like I said, further to see what is happening in terms of the technology. But I want to thank all of you for coming to this launch. It is important not only for government, but it's important to provide another structured sports for our young people to engage in. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister Griffith. The preliminary matches of the BRTO will be played at various locations throughout the country, and we invite road tennis supporters to participate. We will have interactive games and prizes in addition to the exhilarating sport itself, of course. For the semifinals and finals, we are bringing back the halftime show and opportunities for fans to win various prizes. Additionally, just like the minister said, the line technology will be enhanced in 2024 using 4 additional high-speed cameras to capture every thrilling point. And just to go back to what the minister said as well, the tournament will commence on July 28th, 2024, round of 16 on September 7th and 8th, 2024, the quarterfinals on September 14th and 15th, 2024, the semifinals on September 19th, 2024, and the finals being on September 22nd, 2024. Once again, the semifinals and finals will be played at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. Participants in this year's tournament include the best road tennis players on the island, including 2023 winners Mark Griffith and Sheldine Waldron. The prize structure for this year's tournaments is as follows. First place, men's and women's finals, $20,000 each. Second place, $15,000. Third place, $10,000. Fourth place, $5,000. Losing quarterfinalists will receive $2,000, and the round of 16 male only will receive $1,000. The tournament celebrates the sport of road tennis, the spirit of the community, and the rich cultural heritage of Barbados. I would now like to invite Ms. Paulette Jones, the representative from our returning and platinum sponsor, Nation News, to make a few brief remarks.
Let me try to be as small as everybody else who went before me. Ladies and gentlemen, protocol having already been established, good morning. I am delighted to be here this morning. to bring you greetings on behalf of the Nation Publishing Company as we embark on this exciting journey that is the 2024 Barbados Road Tennis Open. Last year, when we declared our commitment to partnering with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment and the Barbados Road Tennis Association and other platinum partners, I personally could not envision the excitement that is road tennis. And I'm a huge sports fan. We couldn't contemplate the gratification that was associated with this initiative. We believed then, as we do today, that our paths are alike. Our goals are similar as we continue to impact the world with that which is uniquely Barbadian. The nation's ability to tell the story of Barbados and Barbadians like only we can from the Barbadian experience, and the road tennis, an indigenous Barbadian game showcasing the resilience, the creativity, and the flair that is Barbadian. We both started as a mass product offering, yet we quickly produced a product sophisticated and compelling enough to appeal to all. A product as comfortable in our communities as it is beyond our shores. Passion, skill, perseverance, and excellence are but some of the traits that we both bring to game day. 50 plus years ago, when the nation was founded, sports and sports coverage was a major part of our ethos. It is still that today, sports and health. We continue to invest heavily in sports coverage with well-trained and competent journalists, photographers, and photojournalists. We print to over 30,000 people daily, and across our digital platforms with a combine of 1 million plus followers, we bring up-to-date, authoritative sports news and information and sports columns to people locally and in the diaspora. If you're not already part of that fan base, I invite you to buy a Nation daily, to subscribe online at nationnews.com, to check us out on Instagram, Nation246, and on Facebook at Nation. To the tournament organizers, we thank you. We are impressed by your efforts, both behind the scenes and in the front. We see you. This we know will be a grand success, as it was in 2023. To the players, we are impressed by your skill, your passion, and your dedication to playing this sport at the highest level. We thank you, and we will continue to support you in your endeavors. This tournament is not only about fierce competition, it is about sportsmanship, it is about camaraderie, and the lime that is shared by road tennis lovers. We are proud to play our part in bringing these moments to fans locally and around the world, to showcase the talent and tell the stories that make road tennis so captivating. To our thousands of readers and followers across our digital platforms, thank you for your unwavering support and enthusiasm. We're committed to bringing you the best coverage and ensuring that you are not left out of the action. In closing, I want to reiterate our pride in sponsoring the Barbados Road Tennis Open. We will celebrate the incredible athletes, the thrilling matches, and the unifying spirit that is road tennis. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Next, I invite Mr. Neil Corbin, the representative from N-Pure Water Filtration, Inc., who is our silver sponsor and exclusive hydration partner, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Minister, what I am going to read from these short notes is probably going to sound like I did not hear a word of what you said. But anyhow, here it is. Protocol being already established. Good morning to all. Road tennis, we game, we think. I'm impressed by that. I love that. That is fully Barbadian, like we are. My name is Neil Corbin, and I'm representing Bajan Pure as the sponsor of the Barbados Road Tennis Open 2024. Road tennis, fathered in 1930, by Mr. Lance Bino, a son of the Barbadian soil, is indigenous to our country. And as we gather here today to launch the third Barbados Road Tennis Open, we can sense an air of excitement, not only because of the games to be played in the coming weeks, but because road tennis has the potential to become a major professional sports league, which would place Barbados, as we hope, as the axis of the development of the global sport. It is because we share this vision that we at Bajan Pure Water found it fitting not only to be a part of the games through our sponsorship, but to support the global vision. As a fully Barbadian entity ourselves, Bajan Pure, whose principles are strongly patriotic to all things Barbadian, including youth, sports, and community empowerment. It is in keeping with the principle of patriotism, therefore, that Bajan Pure Purified Water applauds the organizers of the Barbados Road Tennis Open for their ongoing efforts and extends the very best of luck to the competitors as they give of their best over the weeks to come. There is where what I had to say ends, but I would like to thank the Minister very much for what you said. It has been a great eye-opener to me, sir, where the government has taken so many steps to get this sport into the international arena. And my personal vision as a Barbadian, outside of what is Bajan Pure, but as a sports person myself, is Barbados road tennis like an NBA. That overall huge vision. And everything else that surrounds that, all of the players, all of the income that comes from that, from a fiscal standpoint, from a personal standpoint, from a country standpoint, from an international standpoint, Barbados road tennis has the potential to be an international sport. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corbin. And a special thank you to our sponsors, Nation News and Pure Water Filtration, Inc. for their endless support. Technology has developed road tennis scoring and results database software. Courtside was designed to enhance the management, accessibility, and analysis of road tennis data, ensuring the sport continues to grow and innovate on a global scale. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nathan Agard of Riveting Media, Inc., as he does a demonstration of the Courtside software.
Good morning, everyone. So, what is Courtside? Courtside is an innovative road tennis scoring software designed to bring the traditional game into the modern era. It offers real-time scoring, performance analytics, and a user-friendly interface, making it an essential tool for players, coaches, and fans alike. Traditionally, road tennis scoring has been manual, a bit prone to errors, and lacks some detail in terms of performance insights. This method can be a bit slow and unreliable, which hampers the competitive nature and enjoyment of the game. As we seek to revolutionize the sport of road tennis, Courtside will benefit the sport by providing accurate and instant scoring, reducing disputes, and enhancing the overall experience. It allows players to focus more on their game and less on scoring discrepancies. Additionally, the data gathered will allow for performance analytics and help players and coaches alike improve their strategies. With Courtside, data is indeed the new currency. The software collects and analyzes performance metrics, giving valuable insights into players' strengths, area for improvements. This data-driven approach can revolutionize training and competitive advantages. Looking forward, Courtside aims to also integrate artificial intelligence for fully automated scoring and game analysis. This will not only ensure even greater accuracy, but also provide advanced insights and predictive analytics as well. Artificial intelligence and modern technologies will elevate the sport, making it more exciting and fair, while also attracting a broader audience to the sport itself. So I will just give you guys a live demo. Right, so here we have courtside our road tennis scoring software. The software utilizes 2 screens during each match. The screen that you're seeing now will be the screen that the scorers are actually going to be using, that you're going to see during each game. Additional to that, this screen here will be what the audience will see. So if you just start a match. So in order to start the game, you will navigate onto the sidebar here and click the button in order to start the game. So start with Charles Griffith. And who else is playing? And Neil Carter. So the scorer will select who is starting the initial serve on the game, and then whether it's a game best of the 3 or best of the 5. So just start with best of the 3. So from there you can click to start the match. You know that the match is started on this side. When you can see this icon here is highlighted green, you can see the actual match timer has started as well. This can also give us further information in terms of finding out how long each individual game takes as well for further analytics. So from here, as the players gain points during the match, you can assign them points. Yeah. While this is going on here on the audience side as well, you can see that the names are displayed on the screen as well. The active score displayed right now. So you can assign the points. In the event that a scorer makes an error, you can deduct a point as well in order to correct the current standing of the game. So we'll assign the points right the way up. And so right, when you get to a winning condition, which is 21 points, when the user goes to assign this point, errors can be made on the field. So the scorer can interpret or maybe think that Charles Griffith got the point, whereas Nick Carmen would have been the one who got the point. In the event that this occurs, a pop-up will come out on the screen, which allows the user to be able to confirm the action. If it's a case where I accidentally assigned the point to the wrong person, there's a screen that will be displayed congratulating the winner. So in order to prevent those errors, you want to provide this little buffering here in order to prevent those discrepancies. So if I run it through, you got the congratulations on there saying Charles Griffith has won. On the if I navigate over to the audience side as well, you'll see this being displayed to the audience as well. So just click that and close. Similar again, if it's a case where the court changes, the user can also go on here in order to click these buttons on here to change the standing of the players, whether left or right side of the screen. So if I click confirm, you'll see that the players will switch around. Navigating back to the audience side, if you guys notice, the players will switch sides as well. If for any reason the serve needs to change and there's maybe an error on who's currently serving in a similar process, you can click swap serve, and you can switch out the current serve of the players. So if I go right the way up, when the game reaches a deuce, right? So traditionally, 21 points would mean that the game has been won. In the event that the game reaches a deuce, it'll be a case where you need to have a 2-point lead in order to be able to win the match. So as you can see here, the game doesn't automatically end when you get to 21 points each. The game goes all the way up. If that condition doesn't occur, then the first player to reach 30 points wins the match. So I just allow for that winning condition, and I allow Neil Kermit to win this thing. So if I click it twice, right, you'll see the winning conditions we met. If I click confirm, then the pop-up will occur, on the screen, and Neil Kermit is the match winner. So the other thing as well is if I enter Davis, Johnson, start the match. We are implementing a database right now into the software as well. So as you can see here, this is live data for these 2 players that we currently have in the database, as test data. So as we have more players sign up for the game and for the tournament, their data will actually be implemented into the software and into our database as well, which allows for the increased analytics as we discussed. So additional to that as well, you can see data for each player. This data here shows the current players who are playing the match right now in order to provide, on-the-screen information, whether it's for, the game itself or whether it's for additional assistance when it comes to commentary. And then, there's only these 2 players in here right now, but when we have all of our current players implemented into our system, then there will be availability for a full list of all the players' data on there. So if anyone wants to pull out any particular data, any particular players, then, it'll be readily available. We also plan on launching this software onto the cloud as well, which would allow for further and improved real-time analytics. So we just go here. I will also just briefly show the winning conditions up to the 30. Just for right. So you can see here. Emily Davis would have gotten to the point up to 30, which would, subsequently terminate the discondition of the match. And similar pop-up along here as well. So as we develop this software, we plan to improve the overall sport of road tennis by utilizing data. Within this day and age, where modern technologies rely so much on data, whether it's artificial intelligence or whether it's cloud computing, data truly is the new currency. So, thank you. Just switch. All right.
Emerging technologies, as our minister said. Well, since Mr. Agard is here right now, does anyone have any questions regarding the courtside technology and software? Governor?
Sure.
Is it possible to have, this is going international way, to have a banner at the bottom that streams sponsors information, sponsors logos?
Yes, definitely. That is actually a feature that we... Oh, sorry. The question was if on the audience side of the software, where you can see the 2 players opposing each other, if it's going to be possible to have information for our sponsors available at the bottom like a banner. And the answer to that question is yes. That's actually a feature that we are discussing and planning to implement right now. Right, one more question? Currently, it is in... Oh, sorry. The question is if the software is only desktop or if it's going to be a mobile app as well. Currently, the software is web-based, and we plan on launching the software onto the cloud and have it all running via a website. So, you can navigate to the website via desktop or mobile. Right, one question. Yes. The question is if the players are going to be available to see on the audience side as well. Yes, that is going to be possible. When we implement the data in the database as well, we'll have photos of each individual player, and the icons that you would see next to each name will be replaced by their photos. Yeah. Yeah, question? Right. The question is if the software will be paid for. The software will be available on the cloud at no additional cost to the users. Right. Right. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Rivelino Simmons. I was involved in the development. So currently we're beta testing. So it's going to be on the desktop of the computer where we're going to test. Then we're going to migrate to the cloud so that we can move this globally. My vision for it is we give it away globally, because the more you will now be able to see road tennis players globally. You will know where they are, who's the best, you get analytics, and we're going to be key. So you allow people that are starting to play road tennis to use the software. The key to this is as much data as possible, but puts Barbados in the center of the road tennis ecosystem. That's key to this. Eventually, it might be a paid version when you want to add things like put your sponsors on and things like that. But initially, we start and we give it away and get everyone using the software so we understand where the users of this, who are playing road tennis, where the level they're at, how often they play. You get all the analytics.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Thank you, Mr. Agard. Continuing in our question and answer segment, or Q&A, want to invite back to the lectern, Minister Griffith, if you have any questions regarding the competition or road tennis or sports. Minister.
Sorry, before the questions, or if there are any questions, I want to, and I forgot just now, but he was here, Rivellino Simmons, who from the very jump was intimately involved within the road tennis scope. The line technology, we turned to Riv and he produced. Now this morning we're seeing courtside. Earlier when I was expressing my gratitude, I miss him, but thank you, Riv, for partnering with us. This really is breaking new ground in a significant way. That having been said, and there are no questions? Yes, sir. The truth is, like I said, the registration is still open, so you'll get to see me in the first 2 weeks. I'm not sure he'll get past that, but at least the first 2 weeks. Yes, Gilmore.
Before you ask any questions, you need to do a correction. You said that there were 110 entrants, but you told me 67 male and 33 female. Please give me 100.
67 males, the rest are females. So you work back to that. But it's 110 persons.
You're talking about growing the sport globally.
Yeah. Now we have persons in Africa. There are about several African states that are interested in road tennis. Canada is involved. We have the ambassador from the European Union. She's also pushing it. And I really was hoping this year that we would have a junior tournament that would reflect the international flavor. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach, but I'm expecting that in the future, we will be able to have that international flavor. Between Sports Council and the Barbados Road Tennis Association, we have started the process of training coaches for export, hoping that we can send some of those coaches to the different locations to trigger the road tennis at the international level.
Why you only having 4 venues this year? Why you drop global provincials to
No, four venues for the first 2 weeks, but then it will go to the regular location. So Dover will still be involved in the process.
Okay. When you mentioned the regular locations, there's a place known as Gordon. Really like this harbor. Will there be upgrading to some of those facilities so that you will not be in the dark of Gordon?
Well, I happen to know the director of the National Sports Council, and I can assure you that the lighting at Gore Hill will be adequate come this year.
And you mentioned the Prime Minister launching the Prime Minister Cup.
Mm-hmm.
The BRTO had preceded the Prime Minister's Cup, and money is only available from 2016. Whereas in the Prime Minister's Cup, persons are getting money initially. Perhaps I would enter if I could get money from the first round, so before better not, and I'm not getting any money.
As I mentioned earlier, the Prime Minister's Cup is pitched at semi-professional level. And I also mentioned that in the future, I'm hoping to do a similar thing with the road tennis in terms of having, let me call it a stipend, being paid to players as they move up to the finals. We're not here that yet, but that is the focus and that is the push to try to get road tennis at that level of the semi-professional status as well. I am not sure in relation to how many juniors are involved in the registration process, but as you know, our junior program is normally in November. So if we don't capture the youngsters in this one, then there is a dedicated junior tournament in November for them.
Know that Mark mentioned the junior program. Some persons have expressed concerns that there's something fundamentally wrong with children playing a tournament offering $20,000.
Look, I don't think it is a case where there's something fundamentally wrong. I believe at the Olympics, if you win a gold, that there's a monetary reward as well. Children don't go to the Olympics, but I'm saying that sports has now reached a level where financial rewards are par for the course. And if it is the case that we can have somebody that is 15, 16 years old that can beat Venom in the finals, then I don't see why they should not be rewarded for that. So I don't have a difficulty with youngsters being involved in a sports that will pay them if they win the tournament.
I applaud government for trying to grow our indigenous sport of tennis. But you constantly mention the IOC. IOC and international organizations, you as a former basketball player, do not relate to government entities other than to facilitate or sponsor of sports. So I want to know, have you set a timeline, because in the last 20 years or so, government has been heavily involved in organizing tennis tournaments. Have you set a timeline when you will allow the world tennis baby to grow and walk on its own rather than you lifting it up?
If you remember, Ken Moore, I mentioned that we have 3 directors that will be heading up the International Road Tennis Federation that is totally outside of government. And the reason why we are going in that direction is exactly the reason that you're saying. Government cannot be the one to push this, so therefore, the International Road Tennis Federation with those 3 directors will be the one to take the process forward. In terms of timelines, I cannot give you a timeline. I know that the president of the IOC was in Barbados, and it was mentioned to him in terms of where we're looking to carry the sports, and hence that would have started the process, or the process would have started slightly before that, in terms of getting the constitution in place, getting the directors in place, and having that entity to take the sport forward.
And finally, what price tag is attached to the BRTO's competition for 2024? How much money are you spending?
I don't have a final figure. I guess Sean Burt, who is intimately involved, will be able to provide me with that. But if you look at the prize money coupled with the fact that we're doing advertising and then there are other things, it is probably in excess of $100,000 that government is investing in our indigenous sport. And I dare say money well spent.
Close success or far success?
Close success, my sir. And you know, right now, a situation where you're talking about a sport that will involve young people. Our Road Tennis Academy at Blenheim is not only about practicing road tennis. Embedded in the program, we have life skills to help develop the youngsters, where there's anger management, conflict resolution, leadership. These are the things that we're looking to make sure are part of the course going forward. So any money that we invest in sports that will benefit our young people and benefit the sports is money well spent. All right. Very good, Almar? All right. Thank you, Almar and Ken Moore.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. So I guess the expenditure just went up. Well in excess of 100,000. We'll recap those prices once more. So thank you, Minister Griffith. That concludes our question and answer segment. Now, to deliver the closing remarks is a man whose dedication and passion for sports have contributed to the success of events like this. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Neil Murrell, Director of the National Sports Council.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Let me recognize all in here, protocol already established, and I know as I view the room, all of you in here, whether from the public or private sector, whether from the ministry, are all stakeholders in this BRTO national tournament. We have heard the theme of this road tennis for this tournament. Road tennis we game, we think. And that is close to another mantra that I've heard on the streets, that road tennis is we, and we are road tennis, suggesting that all of us play the part in our national and indigenous sport. The reports this morning has underscored the movement, the general movement of road tennis from way back in 1930. I don't know, Mr. Corbin, that it was invented by Lance Bino, because he would have had to be 2 years old and invented a game, but nonetheless he played an integral part in its movement. But we heard this morning that it was emerged from 1930, around the 1930s, and that is close to over 90 years ago. We heard that it has moved from urban Barbados to rural Barbados, and now in 2024, it has gone all over the Barbados to the 30 constituencies. We have moved from a motley crew of clothing to a more structured uniform, dry fit uniform in different clothing representing the various sponsors. We have moved to different types and shapes of rackets, although the general shape remained. We have moved to different markings on the rackets. We've moved from junior to senior to men's to ladies and to veteran tournaments over the years. We've now hosted clubs in road tennis, and persons on evenings and throughout the day can play road tennis from time to time at their leisure. You've heard from the minister that the National Sports Council has marked over 300 courts across schools and the community. We've had tours overseas to Dubai, to UK, throughout the region, to Egypt, and you've heard the minister, we have one on tap to Zimbabwe. You've heard also about the new developments in the 2024 tournament, the registration, the scoring, and the online replay. And we want to thank our developer from Riverton Media, Mr. Nathan Agard, a local Barbadian, for his efforts in trying to promote, along with Mr. Simmons, in promoting road tennis. I must tell you, Mr. Agard, that I was riveted in my seat, because when you put the minister and Mr. Corbin, I already thought the system was going to disintegrate. But you did well in terms of showing us the system. So thank you for that. You heard that we have our platinum sponsor, Miss Jones, advertising manager at the Nation News. Sorry, Paulette. After 51 years, they are continuing to promote this sport through the media. And their mantra, your news, your time, your way, is really best embodied by one of the persons who was part of road tennis and who have really promoted road tennis through the insightful articles, and he's here this morning, Mr. Ken Morbino. I think you should give him a round of applause. I don't think he gets enough thanks for his reporting in road tennis. And I also want to thank the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation and the CBC for their role as well in helping to promote our sport. Bajan Pure, Silver Platinum, Mr. Corbin, a water filtration system. You know we need water, Mr. Corbin. We need water, and the road tennis players need water to remain healthy and for conditioning and in playing the sport. So I want to thank you for coming on board this year. And in the information sheet, we note that there is still room for additional sponsorship opportunities. So any prospective sponsors out there, there's still room for you to come on board with our indigenous sport. We want to thank the Ministry of Youth, Sport, and Community Empowerment in collaboration with the Barbados Road Tennis Association, informing the organizing committee of the BRTO and putting together this tournament. I want to thank the chairman, Mr. Sean Burke, for his steadfast efforts over the last few months in getting this tournament together. But I want to end these remarks with Mr. Corbin's words. He indicated that for him as a Barbadian, it was a personal vision, a fiscal vision, a country vision, and an international vision. That is the vision that all of us in this room share. There's the notion that the journey of 10,000 miles begins with a single step. And clearly today, this morning, we are getting better and better with the development of road tennis. We are getting better and better. And I would like to thank all of us for our efforts in moving our sport forward. Together, we can make it happen. Together, we can promote our sport internationally. And thank you.
Thank you, Director Murrow. So much has gone into the preparation for the Barbados Road Tennis Open. The collaborating partners, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, the National Sports Council, and the Barbados Road Tennis Association have all worked diligently to make the BRTO 2024 a success. And over the next few months, we will witness the highly intense competition. However, first we must offer thanks to several committed individuals. So I now invite Mr. Sean Burke, Chairman of the Barbados Road Tennis Open, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, everyone. When I was asked to give you vote of thanks this morning, I accepted the invitation for several reasons. I did not accept it because that I am the chairman of the Barbados Road Tennis Open. I wanted to thank God for making it possible for us to assemble this morning in His presence for this launch. I accepted the invitation because I feel honored to be the person selected to acknowledge all who have contributed to making the Barbados Road Tennis Open Competition 2024 possible. It gives me the opportunity to speak publicly and to thank the Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment for his presence. We know
that he is very busy. So we thank you, sir, for taking the time to launch this tournament this morning and for the words spoken to us. We thank you too, Madam PS, for ensuring that we were ready, and to ensure that all things were in place for the hosting of this launch this morning. Now, to use the minister's words, road tennis is traveling. You heard the minister this morning. We are taking the sport of road tennis to the world. But before we reach there, and in the words of White Plastic Bag, home drums got to beat first. Yeah? So we are ensuring that road tennis is played in all communities across Barbados. However, we cannot do it alone. And our minister always says to us that he wants no silos. So our sponsors are critical to us and to our sport. We thank the Nation News for returning on board again this year. Your contribution is valuable to the promotion of the sport, and to Nation News, we say thank you. Bajan Pure will ensure that we have no problem, none whatsoever, with water refreshments this year. So the players, officials, and spectators will have no shortage of Bajan Pure water. Trust me. So to Bajan Pure, we thank you for coming on board this year and providing us with that water refreshments. Yeah, I taste some, and it tastes really good. Trust me, it tastes really good. So to ensure road tennis is played across the island, as the minister said and Director Murrell said just now, over 300 courts were painted in almost every community. And the National Sports Council have partnered with us from the inception of this tournament. So we thank the director, Mr. Neil Merle, and the entire staff of the National Sports Council for their support from the inception of this tournament. I also want to thank, though, Mr. Stephen Rowe. You see, Mr. Rowe, he's our sports development officer, and he is a very resourceful man and always ready to give advice, especially good when you call me one side. Come here, Sean. So we thank you, sir. Now, the Barbados Road Tennis Planning Committee continues to work hard. And as we plan and execute this tournament, many thanks must be given to those individuals who sit on that committee. So this morning, I want to acknowledge Mr. Kim Linton, Mr. Ralph Watson, Peter Thorne, Frederick Blunt, who is the president of the Barbados Road Tennis Association, Adrian Donovan, Tracy Leacock, she's our rep for the National Sports Council on the committee, and Mr. Jamal Smith. Jamal, I can't miss you. You are too tall. I can't miss you. So we thank the Barbados Road Tennis Association for the support given to this tournament and for the assistance given whenever called upon. So Mr. Blunt, we thank you and your team, sir. We want to acknowledge the contributions of a number of persons. Reverend Simmons and his team, including Ariane Brown. We recognize the work done by the administrative officers also here in the ministry, because they work very hard, very long hours to ensure that we have our ducks in a row, as people will say. We want to thank the players, because it is you who make it possible. Without you, I don't know how we will hold a tennis tournament, to be quite honest. Yeah? So special thanks goes out to the players and also the officials. To the public relations team and all other persons who would have contributed in any way, we thank you all for your contributions. Special thanks to CBC for broadcasting this launch this morning. Now, I want to publicly, it's talking way slow down, to publicly acknowledge Mr. Kenmore Bino. Now, Mr. Bino, he has been with us from year one. Mr. Bino, he's there every game, covering, taking photos. You cannot miss Mr. Bino at all. You look courtside, Mr. Bino gonna be there on a mat or something on the ground, and he down low. He making sure he always take the best shots and best photos. And the next day, you can always find a story about road tennis in the newspaper. Mr. Bino, he does wonderful work in promoting road tennis, and he has to be publicly acknowledged. Let me give you a hand for that. So, Mr. Bino, we thank you, sir. We thank you, and continue the good work. Now, I don't know if everybody in here knows, but I am a minister of the gospel, yeah? And I would really want for us to remain prayerful. Yeah? And you can be assured that if you do that, and if you keep God first in everything that you do, success is guaranteed. Yeah? Yeah? So, in closing off this session this morning, this is what I want to say for you all. Yeah? So may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Yeah? God bless all of you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for the passion and the powerful words. Minister Burr, Minister of the Gospel, of course. Just to all right. Minister. Divisions of Labor. All right, so what we remind you, www.roadtennisopen.com, and live coverage commences from the round of 32. So breaking news as well. I think somebody's trying to reach you. They too can log on. So you also follow on YouTube, Everything Road Tennis, Instagram, BRTO PEN, P-E-N, and Facebook at Barbados Road Tennis Open. And with that, we officially conclude the launch of the Barbados Road Tennis Open for 2024. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thanks to our sponsors, the media, of course, our team here at the ministry, Honorable Minister, of course, our PS Director, everyone. Have a wonderful day and look forward to an exciting and memorable tournament ahead. And remember, sponsors, it is not too late to get on board. Thank you.